the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Education both state that the average human brain is equally equipped to learn multiple languages at the same time, and to learn a new language while still learning your first language. Research suggests that children should learn a foreign language during adolescence because it is easier for the child to absorb the language, and it can aid in the child's cognitive development for other areas of learning and thinking. Two main points to be had there are that it is easier for the child to absorb the language at a younger age, and it can aid in the child's cognitive development for other areas of learning and thinking. In regards to the first point, that it is easier for the child to absorb the language, studies show that the younger a child is when they begin a foreign language study, the more effectively that they can learn the language. In work done by Gisela Granena at the University of Maryland in 2013, she produced results showing that early learners, those younger than 6 or 7 years old in this study, relied on implicit learning in a fundamentally similar way to a native speaker. So they learn in the same way that someone who was born into the culture and into the language did, as opposed to those who were over the age of 7. What they did is they were found to have more of a conscious learning technique. This is like any other school subject that they would learn, and this is how adults learn, where you have to put more of a thought process as opposed to implicitly learning the material. Now, children have also shown to learn at a rapid pace at a young age, and can commonly absorb information. They're more likely to develop a native pronunciation, as well as learn the complex grammatical structures, the systems in place, when exposed to multiple languages at a young age. According to Winskell, Zhu, Lee, Mai, Pert, and Booth in 2014, their published work states that young children are more receptive and less self-conscious about what they don't understand. Therefore, they have a greater sense of curiosity, and this greater sense of curiosity lends itself to language learning. Now, as you can see in the graph here, we have the language scores presented across, or on the y-axis, and the x-axis shows the age of acquisition of the second language. So with native speakers right next to it, those in age 3 to 7, they virtually score identical on the language scores. And after the age of 7, you can see that there is a consistent downturn in language scores for those children all the way into adulthood. This information was compiled by work done by Patricia Cole in 2011. Now, in the second point that I have here, language learning, early language learning, aids the child's cognitive development for other areas of learning and thinking. Now, there is a link between early foreign language learners and enhanced cognitive development within the brain. Children who develop the skills for multiple languages show more advanced learning capability and complex cognition through verbal, analogical reasoning, and educational attainment for a variety of different subjects. And according to Gisela Granena, once again, in addition to the enhanced executive and cognitive functions, these children exhibit better metalinguistic awareness. This is to say that they better understand the meaning of language, and they're not kind of shoehorned into one language and then that is all they understand. They have better cultural awareness. And then this is also supported, again, by Winskell, Zhu, Lee, Mai, Pert, and Booth in 2014, that children who learn a foreign language early in life also show a wider worldview and a sense of the world at large. These children are not only exposed to the language, but they're also exposed to the culture from which the language comes to them from. The cultural awareness they gain from this makes them more appreciative of diversity and the differences between cultures, between them and their peers, as well as their community. Now, children should be taught a foreign language at a young age because of the ease at which they absorb information and the cognitive benefits that it provides them. At an adolescent age, children absorb information more rapidly and they do it implicitly. Children who learn a foreign language in adolescence also see improved cognitive development and a wider worldview. In closing, it's easy to see the number of reasons why the Department of Health and Human Services and the Department of Education would both not just believe that a child is capable of learning foreign languages, but that they would in fact endorse it.